right, we got marked here.
Alrighty. Once a week, you want to clean your filters. The way you do that is you start in 1-inch increments, work your way from the top to the bottom, turn it top to the bottom, turn it top to the bottom. Make sure that you open these flues up. All these folds are, this is just a paper filament filter. All the trash will get caught in here. Now, it should take you about 5 minutes per filter to clean it properly. Now, once a month, they do recommend that you get a filter cleaner, which is basically a mild degreaser that you soak the filter in overnight or for a few hours to overnight. Hose it off very good. And when I say very good, keep spraying it until you don't see any more bubbles come out of it, because it suds. You put that back in the water, you're going to have a bubble bath, and it's not a good bubble bath either. So make sure you clean this filter good once a week and clean it once a month, where you soak in the sanitizer, and you can go for a full year before you have to replace these.
Okay.
They're about $50 a piece, so you get as much life as you can out of them by cleaning them. Going over to your chemicals. Once a week, you want to test your chemicals and add as necessary. First thing you want to do is test is your pH. It's very important that you test your pH once a week, your alkalinity and your pH. Alkalinity needs to be between 80 and 120 parts per million, and the pH is 7.2 to 7.8 part in the little orange here. If it's too high or too low, it's too alkaline or it's too acidic, you'll adjust with these 3 bottles. You have your pH up, your alkalinity up, and your pH and alkalinity down. So you'll adjust every week so it's between 7.2 and 7.8. Now the main call I get is, hey, I got my pH right and my alkalinity is off. I go to adjust my alkalinity, then my pH is off, and you go back and forth and use a lot of chemicals. You can't keep it balanced. Concentrate on the pH. If you have a situation like that, concentrate more on the pH and give it a little bit of time, and it'll balance themselves out. But the pH is the most important, because alkalinity acts as a buffer. Anything that's going to affect the pH has to go through the alkalinity first. So it's going to move around a little bit more than the pH. But the pH is what's important. That'll give you longer use of your sanitizer. So if your pH is off and you're putting sanitizer in there, sanitizer's probably not working. So it's really important we want to clean water clean. By cleaning the filters, shocking it, and keeping your pH straight, that's the main basis of hot water chemistry.
Does it say how much you're adding? Like if it's off by point, you're adding a cap full or something?
It's more of just trial and error. I tell you just to use 1 ounce increments. If you see it's high, put in some pH down, like an ounce. Come back a couple hours later, test it again.
Okay, all right.
If it's still low, then go back the other way or adjust it as you need.
Okay, and that's assuming the filters are running and everything, and it's circulating all the water through there. And
yeah, you wouldn't want to jump in the water and use it and then test it. You want to test it like on a Sunday, and you're going to use it that night. So test it Sunday, see what it does, get it all balanced, then you can use it for the rest of the week.
Okay.
But that's another thing too. When you're adding your sanitizer, which I'll go over in a minute, you want to use it after you get out. Don't use it and get in. Some people's skin are sensitive, and they may develop a rash or dry your skin out. So try when you get out of the hot tub, then throw some shock in there, and that way you know that your water sanitized for the next use. That's the only reason we're doing all these chemicals, is to treat the water after we use it and introduce bacteria and such to the water that festers. Okay, these two right here, calcium hardness increaser. We don't really have that much of a calcium problem. You do need to test it. It's on the bottom down here. It's called hardness, is what your calcium is.
Okay.
So if you see it's too high or way low, you may need to use the calcium hardness increaser. But
that's a function of the water for the county, or
It just depends on, like all water has calcium in it. It's just how much is in it, and you don't want it to coat the heater element. That'll do bad things over long periods of time. So just kind of keep a mental note and see. But if you say it's consistently low or consistently high, you may need to get the water checked and add something to it. Next one is a clarifier. Clarifier is a good thing in small dosages, and only when you need it. Only when you need it. When the water's cloudy and you haven't cleaned the filter, you throw some clarifier in there, it's not going to fix the problem. You're going to create a new problem. Clean your filters if the water's cloudy. If you've cleaned them a couple times a week and it's still cloudy, and you've not had a big party and a lot of people in there, and it's just cloudy because there's little small particles in the water that are making it look cloudy, they're so small they're not getting caught in the filter. When you add the clarifier to the water, 1 ounce to the water, it makes the small particles sticky.
Okay, coagulates them. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
It acts as a coagulant, and they get hit each other. They get bigger. They get caught in the filter. Anytime you use the clarifier, you need to clean the filter out, because all those little small particles in the water just got caught in the filter.
Okay.
So make sure those are good and rinsed out the next day after you use the clarifier.
Yeah.
Protect Plus, it's kind of a stain scale control.
Okay.
We don't really have a lot of minerals in our water, so it's not something I tell you to use all the time. Certainly if you run out, I wouldn't go buy as more as need to use the hot tub. Basically, it's if you have high copper, iron in the water over time, that can cause a problem. We don't have that here. If you're out in the Midwest, you may need to use it more than our water here is good. Here's your oxidizer. This is your shock. This is a very small bottle, and honestly, I think this is the sodium dichlor. Yes, this is the potassium monosulfate. This is, I call it a maintenance shock. You use more of it to do the same thing as what sodium dichlor would do. So when you run out of this, get some sodium dichlor. You use half of it. It's a little cheaper and it lasts longer. The only thing is the potassium monosulfate is not as hard on your skin. So if you do have sensitive skin, it may dry it out. So if you do have sensitive skin, by all means buy the potassium monosulfate and just use. In this size hot tub, I'd probably use 1.5 ounces a week.
Okay.
If this was sodium dichlor, I'd do 1 ounce a week directly in the hot tub, and make sure to do it when you get out. So every day, every week, when you go to clean your water and do the testing, do it on a Sunday, and then just every Sunday, you got to spend 10 minutes cleaning the filters, checking your pH and shocking it, and you're always ready to go, always clear, good to go.
Okay.
Defoamers you wear clothes in your hot tub. You'll get bubbles, suds, and turds you use to clean your clothes with will come out in the water called suds. Suds creates a ring around the tub. You'll notice it has a flip top on it, and I kid you not, a couple of drops will kill all the suds in this hot tub. Okay. So if you have suds, use this. The moral of the story is don't use clothes in your hot tub, I guess. But
yeah.
Anyway, just if you get suds, that'll kill the suds.
Okay.
A couple of things we were talking about, ring around the tub. I put a tennis ball in the hot tub and let it bounce around. Huh. It'll keep that ring around the tub, the water line from forming. Nice. Neat little side note.
Tip of the trade, yeah.
Exactly. This is a bromine booster. These are the bromine tablets I was telling you that you don't use. What they are is it's a time released chlorine, but over time that'll eat up the inside of the moving parts of the hot tub. Okay. So that's why we tell you not to use it. Just take care of your pH and shock it once a week. If you found the water has a not so fresh smell, then add a little bit more shock. You're not shocking it enough, but usually this one I would say 1.5 ounces would be sufficient. Okay. But if you find that you're using it a lot and it's not, go ahead and add 2 ounces. Okay. That's pretty much it for the chemicals. Now, operation of the hot tub, the key.
Can I ask you about a couple questions about the chemicals? So the chemicals are specific to this model that uses the ultraviolet light, or any hot tub?
That's as a matter of fact, the bromine. That's why we don't use this. For that reason, there's other reasons too. But you have the UV light in here. That basically, as water's running through, there's a strong UV light that the water passes by, and it kills all the bacteria in there as it passes through. We still have to use chemicals because it's not enough to kill everything, and there's a longevity of that light, which is also monitored and kept up with on your keypad.
Oh, good.
You can see when it's time to change it out, and it'll alert you. But yeah, that's why we don't use the bromine. Is it kind of acts? It doesn't react well. That kills this, and then it's like, what's the point? And it does cause problems over a period of time. Okay.
And the measurement numbers, the metrics are specific to these ultraviolet models as well?
Yes. The only difference is the shock that I was talking about. They don't want you to overshock your hot tub. You can be putting too much shock in your hot tub. So that's what I'm saying. Start off a little bit lower. If you see it's still not, if it's not staying clean, then go more. So you may not be adding enough, but at the same time, if you use too much, it still has an adverse effect. Okay. So which is just as bad as adding not enough. All right. So just kind of keep track of it and just get that perfect balance. So you have a good smell, it's clean, it's that you're doing the right thing. If you start saying go one way or the other, try to see what you're doing more of or less of, and just counter.
Last question for the chemicals. Source? Amazon, Walmart, what?
Yes.
I mean, I know I can get them at
any of those. You can buy them probably cheaper. The Jacuzzi name brand is a good quality product, but you'll pay more for it. Some people are like, I bought a Jacuzzi just like if buy, BP gas. They can buy the QT a lot cheaper, but yes, just make sure the active ingredient is the same and the percentage of what you're. Like this shock right here, oxidizer shock. Yeah. is like 80% the potassium
yeah.
monoposulfate. So make
Okay,
sure you
gotcha.
get, if you're getting this, get the same
Okay.
percentage. That's what's important.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. With the hot tub, you have a lot of knobs and the buttons and stuff to push up here. The keypad is very laid out, very good, plain. If you have any questions, it's in the owner's manual, but it has the pump, the light, and the temperature up and down button,
Okay.
and a back menu button. It works a lot like a computer does. Is if you push the light button, it's going to give you options to where you can go in and change lights. You can change the lights up here on the the cup holders, to be different in the color down below. And you have a color wheel where you can not just be to 7 different colors, but you got